Hello and welcome back to this series of how to make videos aimed at teachers and teaching assistants in primary and middle schools. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a moving toy that is an example of levers in action. This toy may well date back to Victorian times. I'm sure the version that they had was almost certainly made of wood. I'm going to be making it out of my favourite material, correx plastic sheet. We're going to be using the thicker of the two thicknesses available. This is 4mm thick correx. It comes, you can see the size of the sheet that it comes in. It's approximately just over 60 centimetres square. We need some strips, and the channels inside the correx, can you see those holes that run through it? They must run lengthwise to make sure that the strips are strong enough. And the strips, I don't actually measure the width. What I do is I count the channels, and these strips have got 3 complete channels running through them. So we need 2 strips, the full length of the sheet. That's just over 60 centimetres long. Doesn't have to be accurate, but as long as the 2 are exactly the same. And then 2 more pieces, 25 centimetres long, and once again they're 3 channels wide, and the channels must be running lengthwise. Now the next thing we've got to do is to make some holes in these strips. The long strips have one hole 6 centimetres from one end, and another hole 16 centimetres, 6 centimetres from the other end. And the short strips have got 2 holes. The first hole is 4 centimetres from the end, and the second hole is 7 centimetres from the end. And the 4th strip is exactly the same. So that's one hole 4 centimetres from the end, the second hole 7 centimetres from the end. Now to make all these holes, if I was in my workshop doing this, I'd almost certainly use my faithful hole punch. This is a very good hole punch made by Maun Industries, M-A-U-N. I've seen it in many education supply catalogues. But if you haven't got one of these, you can use a very sharp pencil, and I'm going to be pushing into a sponge block to be very safe. Now to make these holes, I just push in the pencil. I hope you can see this. Twist it and push it down. You don't need to push the whole pencil through, just enough for the tip of the pencil to come out the other side. And then, because that causes the plastic to push through, I turn it over and do the same again, just push it and twist it to make a tidy hole without any plastic sticking out. Let's do the other end. This is the one that's 6 centimetres from the end. So push down and twist, turn the strip over, push down and twist. If you can see light coming through, it's big enough. It just needs to be big enough for one of these paper fasteners to go through. And then repeat for the other 3 pieces. Let's just do this short strip. 1, 2, 1, 2. I think a year 3 pupil could probably do that, perhaps even year 2 with some help. Next we're going to connect up this mechanism, and we're going to connect it up using paper fasteners. So in my opinion, sometimes wrongly called split pins in primary schools, proper name paper fasteners. These brass paper fasteners are the longer ones. These are 20 millimetres long. The shorter ones, unfortunately, are just a little bit too short. So we get one of the long strips. It doesn't matter which hole you start from, and one of the short strips, and join it together with a paper fastener using the lower of the 2 holes. So through there and through there, and bend the legs over on the other side. And there we have our first lever. And then repeat for the other one, again using the lower of the two holes. Make sure it's on the same side. Push the paper fastener through and bend the legs over on the other side. So we've now got two levers. They look a bit like windscreen wipers. Then we get the other strip, but this time it's not the same way round, it's that way round, so that we're now using the hole that's 16 centimetres from the end is going on first. So we push this paper fastener through. There we go. Bend the legs over. Have you got that? And then finally connect up the other end with the final paper fastener. Bend the legs over. And there we have our working double lever mechanism. Now what can we do with that? But perhaps more inventive pupils, you could set them the challenge for what to put on here. It could be two people dancing, it could be two dinosaurs, but the Victorian toy had two chickens pecking. Now you might be able to find some pictures of chickens, or perhaps challenge the pupils to make their own. Many years ago I drew some up using the Corel Draw computer drawing program, and I've coloured them in and stuck them onto the end of the strip. Try and arrange it so that they don't bash their beaks on the mechanism, and perhaps they look a bit hungry. Let's give them some incentive. Let's give them some seeds to eat. They're feeling a lot better. So I hope you enjoy making this lever operated moving toy. Thanks very much for watching.